Hello, hello. Oh, yeah,
That's
nice.
right. All about the old focus today.
That was pure intensity you just brought to things there.
Yeah, we're
You get it,
starting.
people.
That's right. And we're starting a different time today because we thought we could get more global people because maybe the time might be a little bit better for some of you.
Yeah, for some people that maybe can't catch us normally, this might
Mm-hmm.
be a different time that you can catch us and
Mm-hmm.
hang out for a little bit too.
Exactamundos.
So, yes, today is all about focus. Focus is, and it's interesting because the more programs we run, the more focus can start to mean because it's truly a skill to master how to focus in on something. You even think about growing up, how to do your homework, how to study for an exam, and then how to focus on your goals and your future. And when we see our participants go through how to focus on what's happening in the now versus, what might they have for dinner or anything else like that, because you really can't pull that off with the horse. So today's going to be all about the focus. But first and foremost, we should probably go through a little bit of the original rigmarole here. And that first thing is the lovely hashtag,
Holy jumping tuna fish.
Cool thing is I talked to a fellow this morning, so we know this is happening.
Yeah.
We know people hear the
So
holy
excited.
jumping tuna fish because he said at the end of the conversation, this was holy jumping tuna fish, and it was very exciting for me. So if you do hear something today that kind of rocks your world or makes you think in a different way, or maybe something you want to hear a little bit more about, throw in that hashtag holy jumping tuna fish for us so we know. Of course, we always want this shared out too. There's nobody in this world that can't learn a little bit more about focus, I don't think. Well, any skill.
Any.
Really. We always have to grow. So share this out because sharing is in fact, what is it, Carrie?
It's caring.
That's right. Sharing is caring, everybody. We like that. And let us know who you are. Share with us, if you will, who you are and where you're from, because we always like to know who it is that we're talking to as well.
And we like to know that we're not the Maytag repair people,
Yeah,
that
all alone.
People are actually out there. So we're just not looking at a laptop. So please let us give you a high.
Yeah. Let's present.
Hey, maybe we will give you a high today, just with everything that we're talking about.
Yeah, that could happen too.
A natural high, that is.
That's right. And the next hashtag is that beautiful hashtag of we are life changers. Because at the end of the day, we know that every single human being, every single being really out there has the opportunity to change a life every single day that we live and breathe. And a huge part of that is through just simple kindness. You never know what the words you say, the impact you will have on another human being. Even just giving a smile, now that we can see each other's smiles, that's all lovely as well. Oh, good. We have people saying hello.
Yay, people. Laura, Lisa, whoop, whoop.
Thank you so much for taking a break from homeschooling. Just in time to see
Good
us.
for you, Lisa.
This is your break, hey? So yes, throw in the hashtag we are life changers because every single one of us out there is. And then, of course, if you are catching this on replay, let us know because we always like to come back and say hello to you too. And then we'll let you know who we are on top of it. My name is Carolyn Charles. I'm the Director of Sales and Marketing, as well as an instructor and facilitator for the Equine Connection, the Academy of Equine Assisted Learning, Inc.
Hi, everyone. My name is Carrie Fulmick, Master Instructor and founder of the Equine Connection. And love, beyond love the job that I personally do, because why? Every day I live and breathe, I get to wake up and say, I cannot believe I get to do this for a living, helping humans globally around the world to do what it is that we do. And that is working with horses in a completely different way. But in this certification, which is really a career, it is all about the foundation and the welfare of the horse comes first. We do not use horses in any of our programs. We literally allow the horse to be a teacher. And why? In the horse's culture and in the horse's language. It's loud and it's profound. We as humans just have to learn to understand their culture and language. And then it's making sense for all the clients who come in to take these stunning life skill programs to build strong skills to move forward in their lives. But it all comes from the teacher. We just facilitate the process as the humans are going through it. So it's a pretty outrageously exciting job, and to have a dream job in this short little life that we all have and actually make it a reality. Not too many people get to do that, so it's pretty exciting.
Very, very true. We've got Rach on taking a break from storm prep. Oh, yes. Yeah, you guys got some stuff going on up there. And then Miss Natalie, good to see you on here too. Absolutely. I loved that you did the strong, because we actually had a team building in, what day is this? 2 days ago on Tuesday, right?
Yeah. Strathmore Vet?
Yes, Chestermere Vet.
Chestermere Vet. That's right. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, different place, but
Beautiful
still
Auntie Gabby.
Yes. And the lovely piece was we had one group that was going through, and Faye was giving them a run for their money on things for sure. And
teaching well.
Very well, and had to adapt. So we did a little switch up where they tried a different horse, then came back to Faye again. And they killed it with Faye the second time through. And then afterwards she was like, yes,
I'm empowered.
Yeah, she was amazing, because that is, you get to that point where you master something in that moment and you're like, this feels so good.
Yes.
And she's
so
so happy. It was lovely.
It's so cool. Are you wanting to show your little verse first, or can we talk?
I don't have that on there.
Okay.
I just have let's get focused.
Okay. Yeah. Well, then that works. And getting focused, even when you're an entrepreneur, you're self-employed, working with horses, doing all the things that Carolyn had said before, not only is focus required, but it takes discipline to be focused. And I think of often, ADHD. I swear I have that myself. And I sometimes think it's truly a blessing, because you don't have to stay focused on it for a huge amount of time. Because I actually think that that's the bonus, that we need to get focused, get disciplined in it. But it's sometimes so overwhelming with just being on one thing. It's so nice, because then we can go and get focused on something else, and then we can come back again and give it a try. And discipline is a hard thing to be able to do. We can all be motivated, but are we focused in that discipline and what it takes to move forward? Are we focused on the job that it takes? And let me tell you, we just did a job this morning. Here's the thing. We are taking out all the manure, obviously, from the shelters and along those fence lines, so that my hubby can harrow and get ready for winter. Well, oh my goodness gracious, if we would have known, how the manure just shrinks and shrinks, but it was about a foot high, but we did it all by rakes. Yeah. And this is the thing, when you get into any situation, you start doing it, and then it's like poof, you feel so overwhelmed, because you look around and you're like, oh my gosh, this is going to take me forever.
I'm like, I'm raking and I'm raking, and the pile's not getting any smaller. I don't understand what's happening. Like I'm doing the work and it's not happening. But that's a very good euphemism for business sometimes.
It really is. Yeah. And even though it maybe took us longer, we still just stuck to our guns, stay focused, finish this job, and it still worked out beautiful. We're wasted and tired now, but that's okay. We're going to do TikToks after this.
Yeah, it's good.
Because we got to get focused for that one.
And even to focus on something different, like especially in business, you end up on computers probably more often than we would like to be on computers, right? Like we'd rather be out doing the fun stuff with the horses all the time. But when you get stuck into something, you can't see the forest through the trees anymore. Going out to do something like that, it's physical labor. It gets you moving, gets your heart pumping a little bit. Blow your nose and it's going to be black later, like 100%. Dirty, right? It's all good stuff. And that kind of gives you a new way to go back and reface all the stuff you were looking at before. So you get different ideas and get to, focus on something else to come back, so you can actually get back into focusing on what you're supposed to in the first place.
A big thing I know the world is technology. I'm actually getting bored with all the technology nowadays, because I think it's gone too far the other way. And I've always been a manual. Like I like to write on foolscap. I like to make notes galore, as Carolyn can attest to. I do both I do it on the computer too, but I like actually writing it out, because then I can take the pen and scratch them off.
Yeah.
And I do scratch them off. It's not just a little check mark. But, the one thing I've discovered over this last year, the most exciting thing has been printing off calendars that are blank. They have all the dates for each of the years, but the one thing that's kept myself focused, and I don't know if this has helped you too, but for our conference, we had Elise Mickey come out, and she taught us how to do a lot of wonderful natural path ways to help our horses through oscillating osteopath. Yeah. But I guess that's what she is. She's an osteopath through oscillating. Now, this oscillating, which also makes your horses feel absolutely amazingly well, in order to kind of get the system running in how these horses will adjust easier, we had to make a commitment for 6 weeks.
which is hard to do.
is to be focused, that you have to do this every time, to me is like so overwhelming. But then when you put it to me in that little manual calendar, and you just, each day, you just know you have to do it. And we kind of split our team up. So team 1 is on this day, then team 2 is the next, and so on and so on, over 6
quick job
weeks. No, it takes at least 2 hours for us to do it properly with our horses and ask our horses permission. That takes the longest.
Yes.
But I'm telling you, without that manual piece of paper or calendar, I don't know if we would have been focused enough to stay on track, because we would have let something come into our path to take us off being focused on the job. So that's why it's so important to have something in front of you that you can write and continually look at, not a computer, because you see the note on the computer, but it's like, doesn't work for today.
Yeah, right. You can push it off. But it's kind of like, you think of juggling, right? Or, keep your eye on the ball, like in baseball and stuff. You have to focus on one thing, not everything all at the same time. So when you have those lists and you can say, this is the thing on the list for today, that's the only reason why that worked for us. Because we have 17,000 other things happening in a day that can sideswipe us at all times. I mean, we had a 3-day training in there. We had all sorts of crazy
team building events
in there, like everything.
Our regular clients.
So there's lots of ways that it can kind of come and push you out of the way. But when you have it tangible like that, I think it does make it so it's right there. It has to be scratched off that piece of paper today. I love
focused.
Laura too. She says she ordered the evidence-based horsemanship recently.
Isn't it phenomenal?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Beyond
I
cool.
love Dr. Stephen Peters. He is one of my most favorites in the horse world. He really is.
Yeah, he's cool.
Yeah.
And then Lisa, of course, physical labor gives us a time for our mind to be clear. That's so true. Because we didn't have to think about that. Other than I'm like, why isn't it going away?
We were just focused on the manure. Do it. You can get the job done.
Yeah. Yeah. What did I say? That was a shit ton of poop.
Yeah.
Ding, ding, ding. And so true. Paper is a thing to grab. It's real. It's there. It's tangible. That's exactly right. And it helps it so then you can crinkle it up, get rid of it, and it's done.
That's right.
Your plate.
That's right.
One other thing we wanted to talk about with focus that we've really brought in with our clients as well, even on to focus on being mindful or where you're at in that moment, is breathing. And we talk about it all the time. I think this could go in with every skill.
Every single
in one way or another.
Just living, because
life,
it's so funny. We all have to breathe, like we do, to stay alive. However, we actually don't even understand how to breathe properly to be able to get our heart rates to come back down.
Yeah.
And that's so important to living in this life, because as we all know, life is super hard. Every day, life is hard, and we got to stay focused on what's the most important thing to us. And being mindful, I think, and breathing is a great way to start each day. And
the right breathing, like you were saying, because there's different breathing for different things. If you're trying to amp up and get to your fight flight mode, you breathe differently to get through that. It's like more of a short-term thing that you can maintain. Whereas if you're trying to lower your heart rate and you do a different type of breathing for that too. And then there's just our everyday breathing. So you can't, if you're starting to get overwhelmed by something, not good. Like you have to slow it down, bring your brain out of that fight or flight response. So some of the breathing pieces that we've been taught is the breathing through our nose.
Yeah, and that was through Alicia Main, where we actually had first learned that. That was another communication workshop that we went to learn more about horses. But it is, you have to really focus when you breathe, and it's only nose. You breathe in to fill your stomach first. So you see that's going down deeper. So we want to fill our stomach. Then you fill your lungs. And then you breathe it out, but it's only through your nose. And it's like you're breathing it back to your spine.
Look who's on.
Well, that's hilarious. Well, I know. That is so hilarious.
See, look, we learn and we stay in touch.
Absolutely. And I tell you that, and it took her, well, Alicia would know.
Yeah.
It took us a long time in that workshop to do it. Like I sometimes felt very panicked with the breathing because I couldn't keep my mouth open. I guess I rely on my mouth to breathe. I know even for sleeping, I'm actually starting to teach myself. And that was, we did this workshop, I think 3, 4
3 or 4
years
years
ago.
yeah.
And breathing, even in bed, sometimes I panic. I'm like, just calm down, breathe it through your nose, breathe it out. And then I don't have as dry a mouth. It's kind of like a horse. You know how when they're licking and chewing, it's because they're needing that saliva to come in, and then that feels so much better for them. I'm a horse that way.
She says, yay, you still remember that Qigong breathing.
Yes.
Yes, I remember poor Alicia. She's trying to tell me to do it. I'm like, I have spent 20 years sucking my belly in. I do not know how to fill up my gut.
Right?
She's like, you're not like sticking it out like you're trying to pretend to be pregnant. I'm like, I can't, my brain is not allowing me to do these things. Poor Alicia.
But, you know, and that's being focused too. Like that is a tool. And again, you know, even for myself, you're about your stomach going up, but mine was, I really did have that little bit of a panic because it didn't feel right or normal for me to breathe that way. But it has helped me in dance now. It helps me in a situation where I know I have to calm it down, and we bring it now into our arena so that our clients are able to, let's breathe before we even begin. And now they're so focused on their breathing. You see, now they're mindful. They're living in a moment. And what does that do to our horses? That's right. Number one thing a horse needs to feel is safe. And then they feel, the horses are starting out at a much safer place now because our clients aren't just going in there and just grooming and just
getting emotions.
That's right. They're focused on what they need to do is look after themselves first so that they feel safe. Then they go to their horses.
I like this too. Our breathing ties into how we process or compensate for previous traumas. You can see that too. I mean, it's all connected, right? It makes very good sense. And even I love how when we get the breathing in at the beginning, they're thinking about breathing. So when the horses do like a their people always are like, I wasn't breathing, right? Like they're paying attention to enough that the horse was telling me to breathe.
Yeah.
I love it.
It's pretty cool tool. Pretty cool tool. So yes, thank you so much, Alicia, because it's definitely stayed with us.
Our breathing sets the entire energy field. It gets us out of our head and into our bodies.
And that's where we need to be. We need to be focused on being here. And this is our only body that we have. So I think that really is quite profound because a lot of us are living outside of our body. Yeah. Like we're living in future or we're living in past, and it doesn't help us to be grounded, or it doesn't help us to even move forward because it's so heavy. It sounds funny, but it's so heavy to be fluffy, where it's so beautiful to be grounded and connected and having roots to just being in our now and in our bodies. So that's really cool too.
Good day, Genevieve. Good to see you on.
Hey, how you doing?
That was actually
good eye, mate.
That was a good little accent
that was
out there.
Exactly.
It's funny, when we went to Australia, I actually kept starting to say words and I'm like, you're going to sound like such an idiot. If you start trying to talk in this accent, you don't understand. Lisa, I love this. I learned to breathe when playing musical instruments. Ooh. My issue is sometimes I hold my breath. That's super interesting. I wonder if I played again. I played lots of instruments and I never had that issue. And yet now breathing is an issue. Intriguing.
It is very much so. But when I'm working out, I don't breathe that way.
Oh, want to do a breathing live for horse people? Yeah, we do. Send me a message there, Miss Alicia.
Oh, yeah. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Set it up.
We're in.
I have a tendency to hold my breath. I have to remember breathing is huge.
And working out, it's the same thing where you're doing a task with a horse, and that's never good. You're holding your breath. That don't help. That is so not good with the pony bones.
Isn't it weird how our body reacts though?
Yeah.
Is that's what it chooses to do. You need this to live. Let's shut her down.
That's right.
Exactly. Why does our body do this to us? But it is one of the best things you can do is to, even if you're getting overwhelmed with business, with your children,
with
spouses,
manure, your business,
breathing, take the moment. And that's, again, you might feel like you're so busy. How could I possibly take a moment? You're not focused when you're completely overwhelmed. You just can't be. Just take the moment, take the breath, take a minute to even just sit back and listen to yourself breathe so you know how it's actually going for you. But breathing is huge. It'll let you kind of come back to ground again, right? And ground is where we feel the best in our bodies. Yes. So I like this. The focus has really just been on that tool, hey? All of it. Neuroscience, I think we're going to have to become neuroscientists. No, seriously, because we love anything to do with neuro. Yeah, and it's everything in our neuroscience is affected by breathing. Yep. As we saw even with Dr. Stephen Peters
There's
all
just so
such
many
good
exciting
stuff.
people. I'm telling you,
Around
learning all kinds of great things.
around the horses, as soon as I realize I'm holding my breath to take a deep breath, they always seem to do it with me. Totally.
Yeah,
They do. And I swear they give us reminders all the time.
they
When
do.
you hear your horses make that
Mm.
around you, breathe, stop.
But speaking of the horses, here is another a little trivia, if you will, to help your horse. Because sometimes, yes, your horse too can actually stop breathing. High, stress coming to him. Again, remember, we can't see what the humans, your clients, are putting onto your horses, and sometimes us ourselves. When you see how tight and you see that your horse isn't doing its normal breath, just stick your finger in his mouth and open it, and they will open it, and then they take that breath in and they start breathing again. So that's one thing we do help sometimes our horses with, although we work with them so much now with breathing and of course feeling safe on a regular basis, oscillating diaphragm. We're always working with horses. They're on a regular basis of maintaining their breathing tool just like we do.
Yeah. And actually that's I think it's been used as an anxiety technique, is to have a piece of gum or something to chew, because ours, if we'll start to
Saliva.
get locked up in our jaws too.
Yeah,
So even if
absolutely.
we can, maybe just fish hook each other.
Yeah,
You see
exactly.
me anxious. See how it goes. I have science beyond the current science. Oh, that's cool too.
Okay.
I
Yes,
finished a
let's do
research
it.
study. We like research studies.
Oh, we love research studies. Okay, you're on with us. Let's do it
Yeah.
next week. No, we can't.
No.
The week after, maybe. Okay, we'll
No,
see.
I'm gone. Well,
We'll talk.
Yeah, this probably isn't the best methodology to be able to do this. We're getting excited now.
Don't chomp, just breathe. That's right. Put your
Yes.
finger in the right way on the horse.
Yes, yeah, not in between the teeth.
No,
That's
no,
the
that
wrong
doesn't
way.
work.
Yeah.
But no, focus is a pretty cool tool, another pretty cool tool, because, and again, manually putting it down helps us again to come back to what we're supposed to do. So if you're anything like me, ADHD, you've got some of those issues going on, it's so beautiful because you can still go do something else. And then you see it and you're like, oh yeah, I got to go finish this job now. So getting in the habit of doing that is outrageously a great way to stay focused.
Lisa just called us out. Stay focused, ladies. We get very excited sometimes, Lisa, as you know.
Oh, good girl, Lisa. I
It's
like
true.
that.
But we have actually, this is better than we usually do, in all honesty, of staying focused to topic. Usually we're off on some other weird tangent.
Squirrel.
Yeah, we're doing good so far today. That went by crazy fast.
It did. I can't believe we're end. We're end. We're end. We're at the end.
Yeah, like that was incredible how much fun that was there. But focus is one of those things that people say, get focused or do this or do. It's a skill.
It is. You can't just, oh, okay, if you say get focused, I'll do it.
Yeah,
Can you imagine telling your teenage kids, just get focused and get the job done?
Teenage. Talk to a 10-year-old.
That's right.
Lord.
That's very true.
Unless it's an iPad, right? Then there's no issue.
Yeah, because cleaning the room. Yeah. Yeah, because they just, even if they wrote down clean room, I think they would crumple it, put it in the garbage and just say, okay.
Or they would get focused on writing it and be like, I colored this whole side. Did you clean the room? No, just made the side.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Yep.
that does not help me right now.
Exactly.
Yeah, breathing is the root of focus. I'm going to breathe more.
Ooh,
when
I
my
like
kid
that.
cleans their room.
No, seriously.
Yeah.
And here's the thing, even if you work for someone else or you're working in an office building or wherever it is that you are, anytime you're feeling that, breathe and come back to life again, because, that's where we go to the head. And when we overthink in our head, it actually does not help us to ever come back to being calm again, because we're building it all up here. That's why horses are so beautiful to work with, because they help us too to get out of our head. We too, even though horses are the most feeling of beings, because remember, they only react from feel. They don't even think twice about it. This is the way that they roll, because the number one thing they have to feel safe, but they're always thinking what's going to kill me. So it's a perfect way. They react immediately. When with us as humans, we do have the ability to think, even though we have the intuitive piece as well, but it gets hit in the gut, then we take it to our brain, and then we think about it. And it's like we have conflict within, and we're doubting the gut. The intuitive piece is actually working for us. And then we find out later that it actually did work for us, but we convinced ourselves out of our brain. And you see, that's where we're not living in our bodies, when we're not being able to do that breathing and being able to get back to
that gut feeling.
Yeah.
It's even like your gut is the simplest thing. We've all walked past something on a counter and thought, oh, that might fall there. And then we walk away.
Yeah.
And then it falls.
It's
and
very
we were
true.
like, I should have moved it, but we just don't actually think.
Exactly.
Alicia says too, do you know your brain will not shift unless you take a deep breath first?
I did not know that.
Instinct over intellect. Yeah, Alicia, we're going to chat.
Yeah.
We'll do something with people with
that's
Alicia.
what we need.
Yeah.
I think we need to just, well, no, I couldn't sit for like a half an hour. I think we had to do that with Alicia, where we had to just breathe for a while. That was hard.
I felt bad for Alicia sometimes with our group. Just breathe. I don't know how. What about this? I don't know that either. Can you explain that to me in a more linear way? Because that's how my brain is thinking right now. Poor girl.
It's so funny. Intuitive peace, that's so interesting too. Because here's our intuitive piece that we live with. But if we go into chakras, for any of you who are in Reiki, intuitive is your third eye, your sixth sense, which is here. So that's really an interesting little
well, because it still has to come to a thought. You have to understand.
That's
right? Like
that's what it is. So it still hits
process.
us here, and then we can take it to our sixth sense, which again, now here's another thing getting focused on. Do you know, for your sixth sense, your intuitive piece, you have to actually use it like a muscle, if you will. So if you are not practicing using your sixth sense, your gut, your third eye, whatever it is you want to call it, it's kind of like it doesn't work as well anymore. That is a huge thing I've been focusing on. And the advice that I've been giving when I focus, because I want to be so much better, even better, and I've improved as we've gone along. So have you. But I want to get outstanding in my sixth sense, in my gut.
Where we don't stop and say, dang it, we knew it. You know what I mean? Like, you know it, dang.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And Leah Dick, who has an amazing communication course with culture and language of the horses, she gave me this advice. She said, anytime you feel your intuitive piece and you feel like that truly is what it is, because that's all feel, it's not think. I want you to now feel where it sits in your body so that you know if it is your sixth sense that's being utilized or not. So every time I get this feeling, I'm like, okay, Carrie, just take a moment, breathe, and then I feel where it sits. If it's anywhere in my gut, then I know it's the truth. When it goes elsewhere, I'm like, I'm not sure then.
That's cool though, even though to know to focus on feeling it, right?
Yeah.
Like, because it happens all the time, but we have ignored it for so long that we don't feel it anymore, right? Like to even be focused enough to know you're looking for that piece. I know I intuitively clicked on your notification today. How weird is that?
It is weird. And how weird that we brought up the breathing and then brought up your name too. It's not weird. That's the intuitive piece. Like,
and we can't see that you're on until you comment.
No. And that's why there's that connection right there. So there was gut, and see, I didn't even listen to it. It just was there.
Yeah.
That's so cool. I just love it.
Yeah. Full circle.
Oh yeah. Okay, people, we're going to let you go. We really are.
Yes. Because we could talk all day, as I'm sure most of you know, but I've come to realize I've suppressed my feelings gut from the past hurts. It's a process that helped. I think we do a lot of stuff from past that we do to protect ourselves, right? Whether it be a fear of feeling something or whatever. If you shut down your intuition, then you don't have to think about what could be or different things. I think we do a lot of that with different traumas in our life that it takes a long time to come back from, and a lot of focus on to making the point of actually trying to fix it for yourself.
Or move forward and still have it with you.
Yes.
Mine is always, because you know how sometimes people always say that, if you just move forward and then you forget, or I don't think you can forget things like, this is now, I'm not a scientist. I'm not a research piece. My gut always says, even through all the loss and pain that even for myself has gone through, that is there. Like as soon as I feel it here all the time, but I take it with me and I move forward with it. So I'm always focused on moving forward, but I think it all still lives there, and it doesn't go poof, it's gone just because we know how to move forward in life. But yeah, I think that's,
even being focused on what's yours. That's another thing that we've been talking about too lately. Yeah, is that you have to figure out is this yours, right? Like when you have a headache yesterday in the arena, I was like, oh,
Yes.
wow. Like, but then when I thought about it, is this mine? When the people left, it was gone too.
Yeah.
And it's really interesting that how much we can energetically take from other people without anybody saying that something's wrong or anything else. We can feel it all, but we have to really focus on what's our own personal body and shell and pieces and everything inside to know what's yours out of all of it at the end of the day
Yeah,
too.
because sometimes, who knew? Sometimes it might not be ours.
Oh, see, Alicia says we're both empaths.
That's so exciting.
Alicia says it.
Alicia says it. I'm getting my t-shirt now. You're darn tootin' galootin', because I want to be.
I can certainly identify with the thing you guys said about trauma. Trauma is one of, it hits in so many different ways, and it can be something completely different for every single different person out there.
Mm-hmm.
But everybody has a thing. Yeah,
Oh.
like we've all hit something in life that may seem very simple and nothing to somebody else, but has rocked our world at one point.
Absolutely.
It helps. It creates who we are, but we
Yeah.
have to kind of keep creating ourselves, I guess, to get to that next place, even dealing with that trauma that we've gone through and how to redo our lives in a different way through it. And I love that Alicia said you can release it through your breath too. Breathing's huge.
Huge. Just
Huge.
take
Okay.
the focus idea and just really just practice your breathing any chance you get, because it's a tough skill to do this breathing this way. It's not just easy. You have to work at it and stay focused on it constantly. Like, keep reminding yourself to try this breathing, because wow, it make you feel good in your life and make you feel good in your body.
Yes, and make you feel good in your brain too. And
Yes.
honestly, it lets you think.
Yes.
You can actually breathe. And if you're a thinky person, I mean,
A thinky person.
you
You
use your
are one
brain.
of those humans that have a brain that you actually think with.
But I mean, if you're a think person more than a feel person, sometimes you try to think your way through something that's even a feel aspect, right? But when you can breathe, it helps you get a better handle on even what the feelings are to think it through.
True
what I
that.
was going for.
True that, sister.
Yeah, that was a little more profound than a thinky person.
Oh, I'm glad that was such a gift today,
Oh,
Heather,
good.
Lisa. Isn't that funny? Lisa
So-
Heather, and Lisa is one of our certified facilitators. For some reason, at the time, I always wanted to call her Heather, even though I know her name is Lisa, and it's Lisa Heather, and I have not made that mistake until now.
Isn't that interesting? Where you've actually said it out loud, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I
Yeah.
remember when she
It's all
first started
Lisa,
talking
and
to
I know I
us.
see Lisa
Yeah.
all the time. I see her face, her beautiful face.
Yes, lovely smile.
But yeah, today I just threw out the Heather.
You aren't the only one. Good. Oh, Rhonda. Hello, sweet Rhonda, the new grandbaby. Thanks for
Okay.
all you do. Okay, we're just not focused.
No,
now,
we're
we
not.
gotta
So we're focused on saying adios for today. Have an amazing day. Remember, you are a life changer. Don't let anybody else ever tell you you're not, because you are a gift and you are unique and you are just that one cool person in this world that another human actually needs. So always know it's through who it is that you are that is helping another human to move forward in whatever way it may be.
Absolutely.
Don't doubt.
I thought you were going to say
Stay focused and
cool
breathe
tool.
with a cool tool.
Yeah.
That's right.
All right. Have a great one, everyone. We'll see you soon.
Bye, everybody.